Hey guys, this is Nick Meyer from althealthworks.com, and I'm here today with my good friend Mr. David Benjamin from healthywildandfree.com. David, how you doing today?
I'm doing really well. How you doing?
Pretty fantastic, and I'm excited to talk about a Amazon rainforest herb that both of us have tried before in the past and used many times. It's called Chanca Piedra from the Amazon rainforest, and this herb actually, the name actually means stonebreaker in Spanish, or shatterstone. And this herb has been used for quite a while for dealing with kidney stones and arthritis and other issues like that. David, can you tell us a little bit more about Chanca Piedra and the benefits?
Yeah, first and foremost, it's kind of cool the way it looks. I'm sure you'll include a picture within this post on your blog, just because if you actually see the plant itself, it's a lot of little circular things that kind of look like a blade, if you will. Like if you took not a blade, but like a knife with a little indentations in it. That's kind of what the Chanca Piedra looks like. It's like there's a lot of indentations. Like if it were rock and you were to saw something, it would cut through it. So it's kind of cool how it looks, just kind of like we talked about in other audios, how plants look like what they do in the body. Gravule looks like a killer T cell, et cetera, et cetera. So it has little yellow dots on the plant that look like stones, and it's kind of shaped in a way that is almost like the edge of a saw, like a seesaw. It has been used to break up inflammation and arthritic causing substances in the body, as well as kidney stones. So we know that one of the big kind of issues with really both kidney stones and arthritis is that they are both causes of overcalcification within the body, and within the case of arthritis, inflammation as well. So inflammation within the joints, and then having overcalcification in that area as well. So having Chanca Piedra and knowing some of the research, for example, studies have confirmed that Chanca Piedra does benefit decalcifying overcalcification. For example, in 1990, Dr. Wolfram Weinmann of Germany treated 100 patients for kidney stones, and out of those 100 patients, 94, which is like pretty much all of them, had their kidney stone pain quickly eliminated. Their kidney stones miraculously dissolved and passed in 7 to 14 days in this study, and that was in 1990. So knowing that within this study in Germany, and Germany does a lot of pharmaceutical research as well, and a lot of medical research in general.
A lot of natural research too.
Yeah, a lot of health and medical research and journalism. They 94% within 7 to 14 days, so 94% within 1 to 2 weeks, eliminated pain and passed a portion of their kidney stones. I don't know if it was all of them, it's not completely clear, but at least their pain was gone and they started to pass the kidney stones. So by knowing that from that research, we know that Chanca Piedra is great for kidney stones, which millions of people deal with kidney stones. Over 300,000 people a year go to the ER with kidney stones from the pain, and if you're a man and you have kidney stones, it's horrible. Like you have to pass that through your, woohoo. So
Urethra.
yeah. So that is not fun. So if you have had kidney stones or are having kidney stones, that's something that Chanca Piedra is like an emergency herb for. Something that it's worth taking right away. And over 1 million people visit health centers each year for kidney stones, and that's just in the U.S. alone. So there's a lot of people dealing with kidney stones, and if you are, Chanca Piedra is definitely an herb to check out and try, just because of the decalcification properties to break down the kidney stones. Because basically kidney stones are clumps of calcium deposits that turn into a clump, and Chanca Piedra helps to break that down so it can be eliminated and passed throughout the body through your stool, through your bowel, as opposed to through your So I don't
Exactly.
That hurts.
Don't even want to think about it, really.
Yeah, my uncle had to deal with it, and he said it was the most painful thing he's ever had to deal with in his life. So knowing that Chanca Piedra worked 94% of the time within just 1 to 2 weeks is definitely something worth looking into for sure. And it's even been reported by many people as one of the most painful feelings they've ever had. And they're actually a bigger problem in women specifically. 20% of women will get stones and 10% of men will get them. So for men, it's probably more painful overall. But I guess I don't know. It depends on the situation, how large the kidney stones are, because the longer they sit and fester, the longer they develop, the more painful they're going to be to pass. There's a lot of causes of kidney stones. Overcalcification. If your water has fluoride in it, that can cause overcalcification in the body. Eating foods that have excess fake calcium in them, so low quality calcium that doesn't actually build the body up. And
low quality calcium supplements without enough magnesium to aid the absorption of those supplements is another cause of overcalcification and can lead to kidney stones.
Magnesium, phosphorus, calcium needs a balance, and if there's not a balance there, calcium deposits will definitely occur.
What about food-wise, David? What are some of the foods that people have been eating too much of that are causing all these kidney stones in America? And maybe they could benefit from Chanca Piedra if they have a hard time changing their diet, perhaps. Or
right, yeah. Well, one thing I know for sure is foods that are acidifying in the body. So, for example, I know my uncle, the one who had kidney stones, he drinks Mountain Dew every day, like a 2-liter every day, which is pretty ridiculous. I mean, that's not healthy at all. So things like soda, acidic drinks, acidic foods, basically foods that are processed, packaged, bagged, canned, etc. So a lot of like artificial sweeteners, sugars, things that are acidic and that acidify in the body, things that aren't whole food based. So plants, vegetables, fruits, those types of things will help to combat overcalcification within the body, whereas the processed, packaged, sugary, sweet foods, candies, sodas, energy drinks, things like that will cause overcalcification and calcium kind of clumps within the body.
One of the big sources people should watch out for, in my personal experience, is protein powders, especially whey protein powders. A lot of people will take lots and lots of whey protein trying to put on muscle, and they don't realize they're not getting enough high quality water along with that whey protein, and that stuff clumps up and causes a lot of inflammation and can lead to kidney stones too. So that's something to watch out for sure.
Huh, I didn't know that. That's interesting. Whey protein. So definitely the quality of your protein is important, because there's lower quality and higher quality whey protein, of course, and sources of protein in general that don't even need to be whey protein, that can be vegan based or whatever. So that's a great tip as well. So really, and that's actually according to Mercola too.
Dr. Joseph Mercola.
Yeah, Joe Mercola, if you aren't aware, from Mercola, MERCOLA.com. Mercola kind of attributes soda as being basically the number one cause for kidney stones, and that's definitely huge. And so stay away from Mountain Dew, Coca-Cola, Pepsi, all that kind of stuff. It's not going to benefit your kidney health in any way, or prevent you from getting kidney stones in any way. So if you've drinking a lot of soda in the past, or energy drinks, or sugars, or artificial sweeteners, things like that, Chanca Piedra is definitely beneficial for helping to heal your kidney, break down those kidney stones, and remove them from the body.
And for people with serious arthritis too, it would probably be pretty beneficial, wouldn't you say?
Right. Well, before we get into that real quick, Chanca Piedra, it supports the herb itself supports the bladder, the kidneys, and liver. So the gallbladder, kidneys, and liver are supported by Chanca Piedra. So knowing that the liver, kidneys, and gallbladder are actually all next to each other, basically, they're all within the stomach region. They're all very close. It supports digestive function. Supports the breaking down of overcalcification, and then once again supporting the liver, the removal, the flushing of that excess calcium, so that the body isn't holding on to it and forming calcium deposits in other areas in the body, which leads into the arthritis conversation. But real quick, a 2002 study in India found that it helps secrete more bile from the liver to aid digestion. So we know that Chanca Piedra helps decalcify. We know that it helps support the liver by secreting more bile to aid in digestion, which supports the liver, gallbladder, and kidneys. So, but that leads into the next topic, which is arthritis. Because if you have excess calcium within the body and it isn't balanced by magnesium, phosphorus, that trio, if you will, of minerals, that excess calcium will cause not only kidney stones but arthritis. because arthritis is actually caused by excess calcium deposits on the joints. So inflammation meets excess calcium creates stiff joints, stiffness overall, which is arthritis and arthritic conditions.
And you've got so many women that are being told to take calcium supplements
To strengthen.
They're drinking so much milk, which is also inflammatory. So you've got a big source of inflammation and two sources of calcium that are not being absorbed.
Right.
So you're just feeding arthritis like every day if you follow that protocol, which so many women do.
And that's a great point with the milk too, because when you take milk, because of its processing in today's world, it's pasteurized, homogenized, and it's a pro-inflammatory. It's pro-inflammatory. So yes, milk has calcium, but the calcium is much less effective because of the homogenization, the pasteurization process. So the calcium is kind of inactive, if you will. And when you're consuming it with a pro-inflammatory beverage, you're basically putting inflammation and calcium in the same pair, which goes right to the joints and things, which can basically cause arthritis to happen sooner. So definitely avoid regular milk. If you can get raw milk, that's great, or just use coconut milk or hemp milk or something like that as an alternative. But so getting back to arthritis and how that's formed, basically this eating foods and drinking drinks that are pro-inflammatory and calcifying, and not having that mineral balance within that food group, whether it's processed food or whatnot, will cause that. So, for example, if we go back to nature and we look at nature, celery is great because it has a great balance of phosphorus, magnesium, and calcium. That's why celery is amazing for bones, and it even looks like bones. It looks like your bones in your legs or your arms or whatever. So, understanding that dichotomy and then using the healthy foods and avoiding the junk food, and using herbs like Chanca Piedra to help break down the excess calcium and create that balance once again with a healthy diet is very effective for, once again, decalcifying the kidney stones and helping to ease and remove that arthritic pain.
That's fantastic. And another thing about Chanca Piedra is that it's very strong against viruses and any sort of pathogens or invaders in the body. Research out of Uruguay found that Chanca Piedra, when tested against 28 other species of rainforest plants and other plants, actually was the strongest for killing microscopic and unhealthy invaders in the body. So this is something that can purify the blood. It can break down all of these obstructive substances in the body that cause arthritis and kidney stones. And it basically just cleans you out and leaves you feeling more spry and more loose and more healthy in general. So how can people find Chanca Piedra? Where can they get a high quality organic supplement of Chanca Piedra?
Yeah, and that's a great point. I want to add to that too. I mean, supporting kidneys, gallbladder, and liver health is so important because, once again, the liver has 600 functions in the body: hormonal regulation, detoxification, and draining. And the liver needs to remove the excess calcium and excess toxins in order to fully kind of heal and balance out the calcium amount within the body so that it doesn't cause buildups in kidney stones and things like that, stiffness in joints. So with regards to the quality, you want to get an organic source because organic Chanca Piedra is going to be much more effective than non-organic. From the Amazon rainforest, preferably wildcrafted, and the Amazon herb source we use is spagyric extract process, which means it's actually a liquid within a capsule. So it's a liquozone, which is actually 3 times as potent as its powder counterpart. So knowing about or using organic, wildcrafted, which is a huge quality factor, and then spagyric, which is a potency factor, and having that all together within one herbal blend is very important for the assimilation and the ability for it to work within the body, within the kidneys, liver, gallbladder, and within the joints to balance the calcium reserves within the body, which obviously you don't want too much of because of kidney stones and arthritis. And once again, one thing to throw into this, excess calcium within the arteries will cause strokes, heart attacks, cardiovascular weakness, and things like that, and erectile dysfunction. So this all plays a role within the body. It's not just kidney stones and arthritis. It's cardiovascular health, it's heart health, it's sexual health and things of that nature. So understanding how far this goes is very important. So there are a few different herbal blends that we've both taken, obviously. Envirazon is great. It's a blend specifically kind of for the liver and purifying the blood, which contains Chanca Piedra, so that it can break down that excess calcium within the body and properly flush it out of the liver, because it's formulated for the liver, which is very important for removing the excess calcium toxins within the blood and helping everything flow well. Also Gravazon, which we talked about before, which includes some of the herbs from Envirazon for removing and purifying the blood and liver, as well as some of the herbs from the Ricovazon blend, which helps circulation, so it helps the Chanca Piedra basically get to where it needs to go in the body as like a carrying agent, as a pathway agent, if you will.
Exactly.
And as well as, what was the third one?
Arcazon.
Arcazon contains Chanca Piedra as well.
Arcazon, yeah, the Arcazon blend contains Chanca Piedra.
Oh, okay.
As well as Pau d'Arco, which is
Pau
d'Arco, which is an immune system supporter.
Right, and then there's one Illumination as well. The Illumination herbal blend is a multi-herbal blend, kind of like a multivitamin, but it's a multi-herbal. So a multivitamin is just vitamins and no minerals and no antioxidants and no phytochemicals and all these other beneficial compounds. And the Illumination includes Chanca Piedra along with many other herbs to help the body. So, but if you really want the potent benefits for Chanca Piedra, Gravazon and Envirazon, I would say, are the top two if you want to help with kind of arthritic things, kidney stones, or decalcifying excess calcium within the body, the arteries, the veins, the things like that. So Envirazon and Gravazon would be my top two recommendations for really getting the benefits of Chanca Piedra.
Yeah, and we'll put links to these formulas in the section below for Envirazon and Gravazon. David, thanks a lot for joining us today. Thanks for talking about Chanca Piedra and the Amazon rainforest herbs. We will talk to you next time. This has been Nick Meyer from althealthworks.com. Thank you for joining us, and have a fantastic night.